Hello, everyone, and welcome to another world of Sasquatch. Today's episode is being recorded on 11/12/24. This is going to be a bit of a compilation, so to speak, um, where Richie and I went into a discussion with Levick and a channeling with Levick about the Aquatic Draco, a very dangerous sect that's out there. But before I go any further, I'm going to do the law of one to open that circle on this side. So, the law of one. When we are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed, and when one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I give thanks that this is done. So be it, and so it is. These Draco are quite dangerous. We nicknamed them the Trans Draco because of the way that they look non-gendered script and where I was seeing visions of them, being able to manipulate and their bones into cartilage and a whole bit. You'll hear that in there. One part I neglected to say, he used the example of One Punch Man. I also used Dragon Ball Z with Cell and Piccolo. I used Piccolo, but Cell could manipulate his cells so that Gohan and Piccolo, or at least Gohan, Goku's son in it, thought that Cell was its father because he was able to manipulate the cells to uh, emanate the hero's DNA, of which the character of Dr. Giro sent out little flies to gather cells from the heroes to create Cell. And also, he has a fish miter hat on. That's more Enlil's territory and Atlantean territory with some of the reptilian, and also, well, Enlil, and basically pinning him as part reptilian as well, or having that in him. And the miter hat style comes from Atlantis. So we can go into more of that at a different time, him and the Jesus connection and a whole bit. But this, I'm still being told, stick to the topic. So, with that, also the fish connection, aquatic as well. They say the Dogon of Africa, but are picking them up from Cirrus, or getting the aliens from Cirrus. But in this case, these aquatic Draco have been around a long time. So, I'm going to show you this clip of what we did and the questions I was asking Levitt. If you see me twitching around a little bit, that is because of the energy that was coming out of Richie and Levick. It was quite interesting. So we'll see if the forest people after this are able to give a message. So we'll go into the clip now.
Yes, he's correct on the whole. You both are correct on that, but unfortunately, we have been left no choice to battle these beings. These are creatures that you call them the beasts of burden for a long time that have been laid dormant, or so you could say they have been receded by certain aspects, but they are still there, and unfortunately, they have been activated. Their time is to come to create chaos. Yes, our brothers and sisters are now gathering to battle them. We know what's coming. Whereas on the surface, pardon the pun, but whereas on the surface, you are more battling your political situation, but we and other other species, sorry, are battling beings with with just as much as high dense as the other political cabal agendas. But these beings, for a long time, were put there as an alternative, a last source, last resource. As this one said earlier, the train is on the right tracks, but it will get heavily infiltrated, and if possible, it will get stopped. So we have to step in, not only for our sake, but for your sake as well. So this is why these beings that come through, the aquatic types, they were created a long time ago, before Atlantis. You could say they were created even before Lemuria. These were created during the whole time of just not long before Pandora, but just before it. So you could say like the Devonian period,
Hmm.
the large armored fish area. They were set there as looking. They were once considered as a great source of like reinforcement, but they became too uncontrollable, so they kept them. They couldn't destroy them because they needed the cabal, the Draco, sorry, needed the ecosystem, so they sent them into residual pods, and they've been asleep there for a long time. But now they've been awakened. Are great. These are a formidable force coming through. Yes, we've had our battles that talk with the White Royals. These are far more worse, as they do inhabit a lot more human traits as well, as much as our own. These are very, very, very dangerous creatures. We advise anyone who's listening to this to never contact them or even channel them. Is there anything you would like to say to me, Chris?
Yes, are there any people now currently channeling them?
Yes, there is several channeling them, pretend to be another edifice of their guides.
Hmm.
These beings are very manipulative, very persuasive, and they are very difficult to remove as well. But like we said, we are preparing for war with them, and we know deep down we can become victorious in this battle, but we have to keep fighting on. We can't never let the doubt get the better of us. The
Yes.
people who the people who contact them be those of a more, you would say, of a more naive state. I won't go into too much specific details of who they are or what their agenda is, but they are very. But these beings are very, keep in mind, very malevolent, very powerful. I don't wish to put any manifest a specific energy to them, as they will become more powerful if they do that. But just keep in mind whoever is listening to this. Just make sure you discern who you're talking to. You always have to address true benevolence in this sense, no matter what. The only way to repel these beings is that you come with the light. I wish to speak to true benevolence and no conflicting agendas.
Yes, thank you, Levick. I notice there are other groups that are being a pain in the ass too. There's been a few of the Taigetan groups that have been a real pain as well in our area. They like to come in and do a bit of mind trickery, and I've noticed the AI has been pretty rampant too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, the AI has been very much of a pain in the ass as much as it is to you. It can be repelled. The AI, it's not as impenetrable as like they like to think it is, but certain residuals, like your own, is very efficient towards that, and even certain iconography from certain religious backgrounds without the influence or the essence of Enlil. Like, for example, the cross, the crucifixion without Jesus on it. The plain crucifixion is very effective. It is very neutral. You're communicating to who? Who are you communicating to? You're not necessarily communicating to one person. Because keep in mind, Christ wasn't exactly one person. He was a mixture. As we said before, Christ, the the pathemphasis of who Christ was, but then you had a mixture of Enlil that came into it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say just give, basically my point is to put out true benevolent intentions to whatever you're doing.
Yes, I completely agree. Are the galactic politics starting to lift? I know Elena and Vessa were talking about how Lonulus was going through a kind of a turbulent time with the political structure at the moment.
They're still in their, you could say, perpetual state of like arguments. We tend to look beyond them. They just they have not really progressed much, unfortunately. Much we'd love that, but there is other galactic forces besides the Galactic Federation that is helping out, believe it or not. Not just necessarily for the human sake, but for our own sake as well, because there is a lot of galactics on this planet that are significant to us, as much as there is humans that are very precious to us, dear to us as well. We tend to look at the Galactic Federation as doing their own thing. If they wish to support us, we'd be more than welcome for their help. Absolutely, completely.
That's yeah, that's interesting. I know that what we're dealing with them here is a radical sect of theirs here on Earth, from what I've been told, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Is there anything else you wish to say to me about
we think the how can I put this? Some of the creepier energies that we have been encountering lately. That has been putting us in these really thick depressive states. Do you see that lifting anytime soon?
depending on the shifting of the political side as well. This one here, for example, has been experiencing vastly creepy thoughts and experiences as much as you have and everyone else. What we're seeing is in the political section is like a pendulum shift, sorry. It's going back and forth. You will feel these influences, like we said before, the whole analogy of the train going forth. You will get these knocks and bangs trying to knock the train off the trail. Yes, they will try and stop it and halt it, but we will try and keep it going as much as this one knows, and you know as well. We have to keep this up to keep this train on a regular basis. Yes, like I said before, there will be bandits on this train. There will be infiltration stops and halts, but ultimately, we are heading in for a better time. As for the war between us and the Aquatic Dracos, you call them,
Hmm.
they will try to ultimately destroy the train, but this train does contain this process, and this vessel does contain our people as well. It judgments and dictates what's going to happen to the fate of us. So yes, we will get involved. Absolutely.
Can they be like essentially placed on a different timeline that the train is not on?
Unfortunately, no. These beings can be very, as much as we'd love that to happen, but they are very highly psionically adapted to a lot of things. They can survive a lot of what you throw at them. They can push it back. This is why we consider them very dangerous, not only to humans but to us as well. This is why exactly we're having to prepare to battle them. And if you do see a silence for the Sasquatch and other cryptids as well, not necessarily cryptids, sorry, other beings, intergalactic and on Earth, you'll see there'll be some periods of quietness, stillness. Our people are battling these creatures to keep our own fate safe, as much as yours.
What about the group of forest people that were in Spirit Lake? Are they being bombarded as well?
Yes, unfortunately, by these specific creatures as well.
Mhm.
But there's only a small portion of them. These were being controlled by the military were able to control a small portion of them, but for how long we don't know. They could easily turn on them. This is what the military are worried about. This is why the forest people are being sometimes abducted, even recruited, believe it or not, and to join them to fight them,
Hmm.
vice versa.
That's interesting. Yeah, because we hadn't heard from the forest people in a while, and Joanna I got worried about them to see what we didn't know what was actually going on. So thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Hmm. I I don't really have any other questions, Levick. So thank you for coming through.
It's a pleasure, brother.
Hmm.
Just good to bring the message forth. I'll leave now, but blessings to you all.
Yes,
Much
thank you.
love.
So, same to you.
Yeah.
Hmm. I noticed your face was changing a little bit, transmuting as you were talking. I could see Levick's face more. Uh, uh,
He was coming through.
yeah, I could see
Yeah.
the face change. Yeah, I could see the face change a little bit. That's cool. Yeah, I could feel the energy. I was like almost shaking from the energy coming through. So it was like
So
that's
he's basically saying, because I was subconsciously saying it as well. The war. So they're preparing for a big war with the aquatic ones that are coming out right now,
mhm.
and that's kind of unfortunately that's the only alternative to do with them. And yeah, these things. Oh, these fuckers are horrible. These fuckers need to be gone. From what you showed
Mhm.
me, what they can do, what they're capable of doing is far beyond anything what we've known before. Beyond any of the Dracos, these are like some of the most nastier ones. Um, because they can regenerate so quickly. If you shot one of their arms off, they can just regenerate so quickly.
Like
It's
Piccolo
like
from Dragon Ball Z. They just go.
Piccolo, more like T1000 as well. It's just impossible. The only way you can destroy him is by a high frequency or for the heartbeat. You know, like the Saitama punches that one to the chest.
Yeah.
Essentially, he punched the hearts out, and that's like when it just went. Ugh.
Oh, okay, okay, I get it.
They
Yeah,
can
I
even
saw
apparently they can even they one of them can even just one can even control the weather as well.
Oh, okay, where they could literally control, like, yeah, have a storm.
That's just one of them. They are that unbelievably strong. I mean, this is why even the military are like wary of them. Like, oh fuck, these things are quite
Yeah,
dangerous. And
the
that's just why they
military
have to
would
put.
stop hunting forest people and go after the actual targets. It's like go after the.
Well, they're not really hunting the forest people. They're just recruit. It's more recruiting them.
Mm.
They're trying to become like their friends and say, "Look, we are brothers. We need your help right now. We're quite scared of these things. They're quite dangerous. We've only been able to substitute a few of them. That's it. We can't control these things."
Yeah, I've noticed there was a scene that was being put in my head where I saw this aquatic Draco where they even had their heads spin around and they're all like this weird limber, like move around like this weird, like their bones. They can make them like really like move strange and everything. Like it's more like cartilage, and they can turn it
Yeah,
from cartilage to bone back and forth like that, and it's like, ugh, okay.
yeah. I even found out the ones in Shadow. Well, what he's telling me, the ones in Shadow the Hedgehog, that's aquatic reptilians that are coming out right now. They're
Oh,
like more of the sea. Yeah, that makes sense. The whole because Doom uses this like starfish being to control people. Well, he uses it not to control. Sorry, not to control people. He uses it more as like a alter of his or like an avatar,
mhm.
project his image. So it makes sense that they are aquatic in that sense. And
Yeah,
they're coming out.
I know ocean jasper, the stone helps negate their frequency. There's a stone called ocean jasper that is actually, can be used to put on, like if it's a pot of theirs that's closed, they can put
Mm-hmm.
it on it and the thing they won't pass it. Kind of like putting a sigil on something so a vampire can't cross. It's kind of like that. Um, um, they're allergic to something in ocean jasper. You would think they wouldn't be because they come out of the ocean, but and so does ocean jasper. But it I noticed I was starting to use jasper in the dragon skulls and stuff more. I had a supply of it, so I used it, and
Yeah.
I did notice that those particular ones were starting to keep away some of the aquatic Draco. And
All I know is there's a sense of panic with a lot of beings at the moment with these ones coming out at quite mass. And even though the military are trying to stop a bit weary of these things, they're being reactivated right now. So yeah, when Levick says that, that's kind of worrying. But he said it's not impossible to destroy them.
yeah,
He just says key essential. Yeah, he said key essential, not impossible, because they want you to think they're unstoppable, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not invincible. They're just strong. That's really all it is. It's like in a video game where like you're like say level 50 and they're like level 75 or 80 or something like that. It's
It's
kind
like
of
that's a perfect example of like Saitama, for example, a human that's beyond. He's like a person that's beyond anything beyond the universe, but he can destroy them. They want you to think because there was a build up between him, this the Deep Sea King, who's he's basically one of them, and he
Mhm.
just destroyed all the S class heroes pretty much. He was like he was like unstoppable pretty much. And even when Saitama appeared, you think, oh god, is he going to go stop him? But you can if you're in that state.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, you're not like you said, not invincible. Don't think of that.
Yeah, I was hoping Levitt could would have said that they could have been put on a different timeline, but they're so psionically capable that they can just shift to wherever with
They're
tech.
very
Yeah.
they're very highly scientifically developed. So that's the problem with them. This is like the Orion's ultimate weapon sort of thing. They kept them secret, and this is why they're coming out now. They're even a threat to the Cabal, so that's kind of it's a bit worrying, but at the same time, it's kind of like yeah, if this is kind of like it's kind of like their pinnacle point. They're using their last weapon resort.
hmm Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw one of these not too long ago looking at us through the wall of the house. I could see the pins and all this other crap. Tried to make itself look larger than it was, and it was eventually I clobbered it, but it took me a minute to take care of it.
Yeah,
The they're not easy, and they will drain the ever living shit out of you while you're
they
trying to defeat them. Hmm.
yeah they died to me, and they really fucked me up several times.
Yeah.
Um, well, I mean, badly, and that's quite worrying as well. Because if someone else, they would probably make someone else kill themselves in a second. That's what I'm worried about. But this is why the Sasquatch is trying to put out there. These beings need to be annihilated. Unfortunately,
Even if you put them on their own planet, they would just try to invade again. So it's like,
yeah, you can't get rid of them. It's like they have to. Yeah, so that's like that. So that's why if you don't hear anything, if you want to put yourself in the world of Sasquatch, definitely. Lurik's advised that as well. That's why you're saying you're not seeing them because they're preparing to fight these beings.
mhm. Yeah,
They're
well,
going to war.
at least they found a place to hide. They got the. Also, I noticed there were, the last forest people or the World of Sasquatch episode we did was on the Interstellar Alliance concept and everything, and Fuma and Broston came through and were basically poo-pooing the whole thing, saying it was a psyops and all this other stuff, and.
Mhm.
Uh, um, it was actually quite interesting. We got a little a little bit of blowback for that one, but that was the last thing we did with them, and then obviously now this is why. But it
Yeah, they're just kind of concerned about well, not concerned, but they're more preparing for what's going to happen. What
hmm
I'm seeing is, Luke showed me that the Sasquatch are all getting up on, they're all armoring up, sort of thing. They're all like preparing. There's like groups and clans that are like uniting to. There is elders as well that are uniting against them to try and fight them. They're trying to get all the elders to fight. So that's why you're not going to see them for a while, because they're going to have unfortunately they're going to have an inevitable war on their hands,
hmm
and they're the same with the same with the dog people as well. They know that they're a massive threat to them.
yeah. This getting rid of these guys, I think, will turn the tides completely energetically because.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll be. This is like I said. It's like the Orion's last resort. These guys are like the ultimate weapon to get rid of them. To get rid of them.
Yeah,
Like I said, the train can't be.
huh?
Like I said before, the tracks have been set. You can't stop the path where it's going. The only thing you can do is hinder or stop the train, destroy it. And this
hmm
is what they're trying. This is what the Sasquatch are trying to prevent in this timeline.
Okay. Yeah, I can see where a lot of that interference is coming from because we detected like this weird entities lately. Not when we were out, but like here at the house, there was this creepy ass energy that was here. Military was doing stuff, and then the military suddenly stopped doing stuff to us, and we're like, Um, and then their attention was diverted towards the other thing. So,
That
but
was the Aquatic Draco doing that. They
mm,
wanted to kill. They wanted to get you all. They wanted to go after you. They
mm,
manipulate. They manipulate the military to go after someone else.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because the
That's
military have been nasty, and some of the Taigetan groups have been nasty towards us. So it's
but
like,
these beings can literally manipulate them. That's what I find quite creepy as well. I mean, if one of them can literally control the weather, that's quite terrifying.
that
That's
is.
not powerful. That's quite powerful.
Mm,
Oh god!
yeah,
Because literally, when Saitama punched this thing and killed it, the rain stopped as well.
oh
Everyone said that.
yeah,
Oh, the rain stopped. So all of a sudden, when he killed it, the rain stopped because this thing was controlling it.
yeah. I don't think they all can do that. I think that's just a certain class of them that can do that.
Yeah, probably like an alpha type one that can do that, but
Yeah.
that's how dangerous these ones are becoming, and this is why Levick said they're all going to war right now. But then they're preparing for war.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that clip. That was a bit of impromptu. Usually the best things are. So I don't know if any of the forest people wish to channel. Oh, I have to bring you over here. Okay. Which one? The blonde one. Okay. Okay. That would be that for context. So this would be okay. Any of them from Spirit Lake or any of them from local? Who do we have? Aha, interesting that you chose this one, Vitos. So interesting. So you're able to shed some light on this. So yes, okay. Yeah, I gotta make it quick. That was sense of urgency. While the other recording was exporting from Zoom, I was very impatient because this was it was a sense of urgency that was coming up. So for context, Vitos is from this area, from both the Sand Bridge and also clear onto the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Sand Bridge is here in Virginia, about maybe 25 minutes from here. So in that area, in the swampy areas back there, he travels between there and the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So uh, to negate V2K, thank you. I will do that. Vitos, okay, true benevolent Vitos. True benevolent Vitos, please. No conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. Yes, correct. I am Vitos. So yes, we are battling these particular Draco as we're speaking. This is why he could not communicate with us, even though there's AI and other interferences in the way that have taken place, where he could not connect with Deer Lane and Vesa and the like. Ablaños. Oh, there's a lot going on behind the scenes where our two groups have had to work together. And a lot of groups like Dogman Military, everybody had to kind of work together to solve this particular problem. Not that we intend to stick with that afterwards with your military, since some of them have treated us so rotten. But in this case, my enemy is my friend, and agree to disagree on some tactics. So, with that said, I do have to make this message quick. Uh, these particular forces have caused a lot of interference lately. Granted, it is not the only thing. Do not give them power. Do not co-create them as a big, mighty, big, badass bad guy. Now, even though their powers might be impressive on some level, they are actually quite dangerous. So, I do wish to leave this here. Unfortunately, this cannot be for very long. So, I will talk to you all on the flip side of this. So if any forest people channelings are dwindling of late with people, their resources are being rechanneled or they are hiding. So be careful, channelers, even channeling some of our own people, be careful. You may be getting some of those particular Draco and or V2K. Ocean jasper and silver are what can fight these guys. Salt doesn't do bupgust against them. Also, you have V2K that is rampant right now, especially with the energies from around your election time frame, whether you chose Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. It was the energies going either way. There's a lot of fear in the air that they caused the similar of the COVID and vaccine debacle. So I will leave this here for all of you. Blessings from my people to yours, the Force people, to all of your family now. So thank you. So this is also where I personally will leave this because this is going to get edited up as fast as I possibly can. So it is, the energy is really, I could tell, is turning kind of blue in here. It's which means you've hit this meditative state, but it is actually quite interesting now. It's more peaceful, and we've had some creepy thoughts of late. Had some really creepy shit happen. So I'm gonna leave this here, and just know that these things are happening. These Draco are even causing me to forget they existed. This is why we haven't mentioned them much. I don't think to. So this is part of the mind control. I'm not empowering them, like he said, don't empower them by giving up too much power. Yes, their ability set might be impressive. Yours is more impressive. Just like some of the Draco reptilian mentality, they might be impressive psionically. You're more impressive because, like what Morpheus says, Neo in the Matrix, they can never be as fast or as strong as you. He was referring to AI. That still holds, by the way. But with these guys, it's a reptilian brain that doesn't have the same imaginative dynamic as a mammalian brain. So therefore, that people always say demons cannot co-create the same as a human, so they meat puppet them. That applies to Draco especially, and some interdimensionals, but the Dracos where some of these stories came from. So I'm going to leave this here. So I now close this circle within true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye now.